Okay, so welcome to Pilates class, and we are starting our stretch part of the session today, doing some of the ballet stretches. Joseph Pilates worked with many dancers. When he came to New York, he ended up renting a space in a building that was also shared by George Balanchine and the New York City Ballet. And so he got a lot of the injured dancers, because of course, while dancers need to be in fabulous shape, choreography is not designed for alignment and functional movement. It has an aesthetic purpose, an expressive purpose to express emotion and concepts. So often dancers end up getting injured just because of repetitive stress practicing certain moves over and over again. And also dancing, isn't designed just to do something to the right, something to the left, and then center yourself. So all of that is great and is covered many times in their classes, doesn't necessarily work for their performance and their rehearsals. So these are exercises that Jim Pilates, I think, adapted from the ballet bar, but he also used them on some of the equipment in the Pilates studio. There's a huge piece called the Cadillac, which basically is like a large platform with like a frame around it, similar to a four-poster bed. And the ballerinas would do these exercises inside the frame, so they would have support for their limbs and for their balance if they were coming from an injury, or if they just wanted to improve the range of motion. So anyway, we're going to work on this today because it's excellent for balance, excellent for stretching, and we start using a chair, or if you're at home, you could use a piece of furniture like a coffee table, anything that would be comfortable for you to extend your leg on top of. And if you are using, say, a windowsill or something, my recommendation is to pad it with a folded towel or a small cushion so that the back of your heel and your foot would be comfortable when you rest it on here. So we're just going to start facing your surface. In my case, it's a chair. And we'll go into turn out with the legs, face together, chest apart. And go ahead and extend the leg out, taking my right leg up and rotate the leg a little bit externally here in front of me. So we can lift the arms up to the ceiling. If balance is not your best thing, you may want to set yourself up near a wall. But here we're just going to dive forward, bringing the gaze and the nose down towards the inside of the leg, and bringing your hands to the surface. You dive over to feel that stretch in the back of your leg. And then you press down through both feet to lift to come up. And then you can take an upper back extension here. Front of the body is still vertical until you get to the chest, and then that waterfalls backwards. And then diving over, exhale all the way over and down. Take it to the bow here. If your hamstrings are super tight, of course, bend the knee and go down lower to get the stretch in the belly of the muscle and not overstretch the back of the knee joint. Press down through your feet and rise here, coming up. Upper back extension. And one more time. Exhale all the way over. Feel this lengthens the back of your body, lengthens the back of your leg. It falls to the ground. And as you're moving your gaze, maybe go from point to point to point, instead of just sweeping the gaze in an arc. Finding this focal point, spotting is what they call it. Dance will definitely help you maintain better balance and control. All right, so let's lower that leg. And you might actually feel like if you did a roll down here, a standing roll down, you should have more length and ease on the side that you just stretched. And then you can stack on lift. And here we go to the other side. So we turn out with the leg. Extend the left leg up onto the chair. It could be higher. You could use a tabletop if you've got the flexibility. And then lift. But it almost doesn't matter like what height you use as long as it's not too high for you, because you can just go lower with the lower leg and still get the stretch that your low back and the back of your thigh are creating. Press down through your feet. Articulate up here. The chest lifts, take the upper back extension. And then forward again. Now it is easier to do this with the arms out to the side, or you can even just have the arms come down low. So stacking the spine with the arms low is going to be a little easier, keeping the weight closer to center and lower center of gravity. We're advancing up in the air and then dive over again. Moving over, feel that length in your low back. Try to have your hips square here as you dive over and down. Press through your legs and lift up. Lift the chest, upper back extension, and forward. Hey, welcome to class. Lengthening over to stretch out the back of your legs. This is great for hamstrings again. Let the head hang here. The shoulder blades are going to fall around towards the floor, towards the front of your chest. Put down to up. And then we bring the arms down to your side. Good. Now for the next one, we're doing a little bit of a piriformis release. And this one, the traditional one here is to take the leg out to the side like so, and then hinge forward here from your sits bone. And you can dive over to feel that diagonal stretch across the glute and the outer thigh. And then you can stay there. You can kind of pull the heel, the hips back, pull the chest and then forward, and keep dropping down into this. So the thing to think about here is you want the knee to feel safe. So the rotation for this happens from the hip joint. And then come on up. Let's switch the legs. So put the right one down, the left one up. Bring the edge of the foot sort of in front of the left foot in front of the right hip bone press. Rotate the leg externally out and down to the side. Hips are square. And then you lift the tail up as you hinge over. First, find the hands. That's going to give you the most work into that piriformis, rotating the deep rotator muscle underneath the glute. And then at the bottom, you can lower the head down and hang it low to increase the stretch that you feel. And so this is a great standing version to stretch out your piriformis. I also really like the seated version, so let's do that one too. So you'll just have a seat on your chair. And then pull your right knee up and into your chest. From here, you rotate the legs and the thigh goes out to the side and rest the edge of your right foot on your left thigh. Good. Now, my left side is going to be a lot tighter. So one of the things I know that you do when you have a tight piriformis here and you can't really get the leg down low is you can extend the other leg forward, and that gives you a chance to drop the knee down a bit. And then try to lift up and sit right on your sits bones. And again, hinge forward here. Leaning over. You should sit a little further back. So you want to just lean over. And maybe then you can have your arms pressing down into the knee. The thing about doing it on a chair like this, as opposed to doing the one that we all learned in yoga class, you lay on your back and you kind of pull the leg towards you. When you do that one, it's really easy to rotate the pelvis in order to get this knee out to the side. Here you can feel your sits bones pressing into the surface of the chair so that you really feel that you're still level here, you're still balanced, and you're not just tilting over to the side to drop this knee down lower, which has always happened to me in yoga classes when I did that stretch. So you can come forward, and again, you want to lengthen the waistline, lean forward, and then maybe drop the head and the chest down in sort of an upward curl to increase the stretch. Another option here is you can rock the knees a little bit side to side while you're down low and feel that sort of opening and releasing that muscle. And then we can come on up, and you want to be careful unwinding the leg. You don't want to torque out your knee. So you pick the knee up as you swing the foot down and then lower the foot. And then notice how it feels different in your two glutes. Okay, good. So let's do the other side. This one you'll see, my body has a big imbalance here. When I was in high school and then here at Swarthmore for college, I would always sit on the floor to study with my legs like this, right? So I had an external rotation in one and internal rotation in the other, not realizing that doing that as a long-term pattern would not be helpful to balancing out my body. So anyway, so here the left leg is up, the edge of the foot rests on the right thigh, and you can extend the leg. if you need to lower this down to see what works for you. And then we lift the tail up, hinge forward. You can use your left arm to press across the folds of the legs. Like you don't want to press into the knee joint itself, but you could go below it, like with your forearm on the calf and the thigh a little bit above the knee. And stretch here. Thinking maybe of less rounding in the low back and more a plank, lifting the tail to sit what's up behind you. And of course, we also can rock the knees back and forth, teasing that shape open just a little bit. So. Okay, and then pick the knee up, and fold the legs, face it down. And let's come up next. We're only going to do this for a few more minutes, but there's a lot of other ones in this series. I think we're going to do the quad stretch. So come up to standing, and you can face the back of your chair. This one, of course, can be done with a strap around your foot. But we're going to just start standing here, legs in parallel, and then holding on to the back of the chair. Bring one foot up and bring the heel towards your glute, and then drop the knee as straight to the floor as you can. Good. So you just breathing here, so turn sideways, so you can stay like that. And you may find that if the quad is super tight, which they often are, right? If you're sitting a lot during your day, and hip flexor, deep hip flexor of the psoas, but also the one quad muscle that crosses both the hip and the knee, the rectus femoris, tightens up at the hip. This will feel like you really need it. And you can also then wag your knee a little side to side, very soft and slow, like a very old dog wagging its tail. So that way you're not just stretching the middle of the four quads, but you're kind of getting into the medial and lateral quads as well. Okay, now eventually you'd like to be able to push the knee back into a little bit of hip extension and still let the knee sink down to the floor like the knee was filled with, like iron weights or something to drop down to the ground. Okay, and then pull the knee in. And you only do this, of course, if the knee joint feels comfortable. I know you're going to feel the stretch in the quad. Let's go to the other side. So you can hold on to your chair seat. Pick up the knee, grab hold of the top of the foot, slide the knee back and down, go to the butt. Of course, the shape will be more open as it's tighter, and it also may end up with the knee in front of the other leg. The eventual goal would be to get it straight to the ground. So. And then stand here. Breathe into it, whatever level of tightness you think is appropriate for you to stretch. Like don't force it. Just pull the heel in, just let the leg muscles start to open and release here. And then we're going to wag from side to side. Okay, and then release the foot, lower that down. See if that feels a little better. A little more activity in your hips, a little more action in the hips, and more release in the legs. I'm going to do just one more standing here. This will be a side bend. So take the chair out to the side, or you move away from it, and you'll be in a little external rotation again with your legs. Take the closest leg up and take it onto the chair surface. And you can either step back or move the leg, like moving the leg forward makes it a little easier. If you bring it back, if you come more forward to it, that's going to require more opening here across the front of the inner thigh. So wherever you want to be to feel a stretch that works for you, it's not even so much the back of the leg, it's more for the inside thigh. And then bring the opposite arm up. You're going to side bend over. And really feel that stretch in your side seam. Press down through the arm and the leg and lift up. And then we're going to side bend away. Now don't let this hip lift, so keep the hip down as you side bend away. There may be like a little bit of a space happening, like right here between the thigh and the lifted bit of the pelvic calf. But you're really trying not to tip way over and let the pelvic girdle switch in the air. So try to hold that sort of vertical and in position, and then coming up to go over. And then you pull yourself up a little slowly, so work from the side line, hip to waist to rib to armpit, and then we go over again. Stretch, side bend here. You can use your hand to kind of pull the tissue like down and away from the pelvis. Give yourself a little bit more stretch here in the inner thigh muscles, and then pull it up, and we'll take it over again. And then lift, we'll do one more. And of course, all this one-legged standing that we practice in the series is excellent for firming up the glute medius on your standing leg. But when I learned the series, I was told that you would do every single exercise standing on the right leg and then on the left or vice versa. But that was just too tiring for most people, including me. And plus then if you were teaching someone, you might run out of time and they would be like having to leave and not having balanced out the whole body. So we're going to get to the other side. I'm going to turn it this way so I can still face the class and also the camera. Feel good? Like feel how nice that feels in that side that we just stretched out. And again, nice and turn out and take the other leg up. Rotate the leg externally and try to drop down through that femur. Yeah. And then we side bend over towards the leg. No rotation. The body will want to rotate because you'll go over in a bigger range of motion, but that is not going to open up your sideline. And then pull yourself up, hip to waist to rib. Armpit, the hip floats up, and then we side bend away from the chair, away from your lifted leg. Good, and then pull yourself up again. And over you go. Lift coming up high with the head towards the ceiling. Switch, side bend away. And let the weight of your body help open up your side ribs, open up your waistline. And we go one more time. Of course, the hand on the leg also gives you a close kinetic chain, which helps you find a little bit more balance here. And then we look to come up. Way. If you know your head is a little bit forward, you might want to look up towards your fingertip. That'll pull the head back more in line with your spine. And the forward head position is really common if you have very tight chest. Come all the way up. And then we can lower the leg down. Or just put the chairs away. That was just a taste of the ballet stretches. Let's see if I can find my mat on the floor here. There we go. Okay. So let's have a seat, and we're going to roll right back into your upright curl and do a little bit of footwork here. So as you roll back, we're going to end up with the hands behind the head. You can start curving your way down to the mat, the tail lifts. You go down to the base of the leg base, to the shoulder blade. Bring the hands behind your head, pull the head up, obviously. Pull the legs into a frog position, legs together, knees apart. Inhale, push the legs away on one diagonal, exhale, frog form. Inhale, reach out, and exhale, and back. The angle of the leg should challenge your ability to keep the waistline pressed down. You're going to feel this in the low abs, but not really feel your back is arching and collapsing from the weight of your legs. So if you feel like it's too much, take the legs higher. If it's not enough work, take the legs lower. And it will change over time, not to worry. Come in, parallel legs, soft point with your feet, and reach out and away, and then pull the legs back in. So here the toes are melting off the end of the body. You have a nice long line from the toes across the ankles to the shins. This position of the foot is called plantar flexion. Gives you a chance to get that stretch across the front line of your legs as you extend. And then even as you pull back, you're still keeping the pointed foot and ankle. Do one more. So you lift it here, working through this upright abdominals, flex the feet and reach up and out. Pull the knees back in, and you press again. Your legs working like distance here. Now here, the toes curl back, the heels reach forward, and have a deep flexion, a deep bend at your ankles. Maintain that, no matter whether the legs are extending or folding in over your chest. Foot and the ankle remain in the same position. Go up a little deeper, a little higher. Probably by now we've got a little bit of a curl, and we're going to re-engage it. One more. To pull it back, extend the legs up to the ceiling. Inhale to point the feet, exhale to flex. Double toe and triple heel. It'll be tempting to look up at your feet. You can lift your eyes, but don't lift your chin. Still try to come forward with your chest. Maybe wrap the elbows in a little closer towards the knees. If you're squeezing a ball between your elbows, with any luck too, when you lift the heels, you can drop down through your sits bones to get more stretch in the back of your legs. And then we'll hold the knees in and let your head back. Embrace the knees in, and then just do some little circles here, circling the knees away from each other, towards each other, the feet move with the knees, and then reverse the circles. And we've substituted the footwork for your hundreds today, so just extend the legs forward for roll up. So let's lift the arms up to the ceiling. Take them back as much as you can without lifting the rib cage higher off the ground, preventing the spine from arching further than its normal position. Lift the arms, weight the shoulder blades, start to lift the head, neck, and chest. Exhale to pull up, step over yourself. Good, good. And then diving over. And then suck the waist back, curl the tail forward, start to roll back here. Work your spine down, 1 inch, 1 vertebra up to the next. Control yourself to the ground, and then open the arms with a stretch into your chest and also into your lats behind you. Lift to come up, exhale, breathe through it. Diving forward, then reach up in an arc and then over and down. If the back line is tight, bend the knees a little bit here, eventually not. Suck the belly into the spinal curve, and then let's rotate the pelvic girdle here on the femurs to go back. Now the arms higher. It makes it more difficult to maintain control. Lower them as you need, or keep them lifted for a little more challenge. Stretch back and come up and over again. Now, ideally, we're working the right and left side equally, and if you know like one side is weaker than the other, maybe ask that side that kind of hangs back and doesn't pull its full weight to participate. Like, I know my right side is stronger, my left side will not do the full workout unless I really focus on that. So you could think about just saying, okay, left side, time to go. Let's get up, help the right side up, and then work, and actually often that helps. You might not be able to see it yourself unless you can look at the mirror while you do this from the front of your body, looking down over your feet at the mirror. But you could always ask, a teacher like a yoga or a Pilates teacher or a dance teacher to look at that for you and see. Or you might just notice that you have more development of muscles on one side of your body and you know that you need to work the other side harder. We're going to circle the arms around and let's lift up into a rollover. Here, if you're not used to doing inversions with your hips, you can take the roller across underneath your glutes. But hold the knees into your chest, arms lengthened here at your side, and then you can pull the legs in and then lift them up to the ceiling. Bring them a little bit forward, spread the palms into the floor. We're going to lift the legs up, exhale, lift the hips in the air, and keep looking up between your knees. Never look to the side at this point. Open the legs 4 inches, flex the feet, And then you press through the arms. As you work your spine down, come down slowly, and then take the legs out to a place where you feel the abs engaged, but not over, work the back, close the legs, soft plank, go up and over again. Inhale, exhale to lift. And try to get the tail high in the air, like don't collapse. Right, but lift the waist, then flex at the hip. And now work yourself down. Reach out through the back of your halo as you pull forward with the tailbone, and then press the legs away. Open, we go up and over again. Push the foot down, lift up, close flex, and bring yourself down here. Try to lower the legs tight to the chest wall to get more stretch in the back of your legs. Now here, press the legs forward, open, then close, and then go over with the legs in a point. Sorry, I got that wrong. Open to go over with the legs apart. Close flex, lengthen through the heels, work your way down. Here the feet are together and flex. Take the legs forward, point open, go up and over here. Lift the butt in the air, close the legs, flex, work it down again. Every vertebra goes down one after the next. Try not to go down in big chunks. One more, point apart, push down, lift up, close flex, and work it down. You can feel the abs working to release your spine down 1 inch after the next. Let's lower your left leg down. Flex that foot, and then extend the right leg forward on the diagonal, maybe 45 degrees out in the air. Now, we're coming up. This is a roll up with one leg in the air. It's called tree. So you lift the head, neck, and chest, bring your left hand to the back of the thumb, pull yourself up, come all the way up. If the leg is too vertical, you're not going to get up. So be sure you take it out on the diagonal, lower off the ground. And then you can try to sit upright. Again, if the back line is tight, bend the knee. That's good. Right? We're trying to get to the point where you really sit up on your sits bones, whether the leg is straight or not. And now we curl back. So you lift the tail, and the spine goes down first, and then you let your arms follow your spine down to the ground, walking down the back of your leg. At the bottom, when your spine is elongated on the mat, the arms lengthen forward, you press the palms into the ground with open hands. And then we lift to come up again. If you're looking not at the knee, not at the leg, but to the inside of the leg, left hand goes first to the back of the right leg. Avoid the back of the knee as you climb the leg. Come up and widen the collarbones, lift the chest here. Head is high, neck is long, front, back, and side. And now we work your way down. So rotate the pelvis on the fingers, curve down with that low back, over your sacrum, pushing the leg out. You can look down at your belly as you go down. Do great. And then all the way down, arms stretch at your side with the collarbones open to relax the blades. Last time to lift, coming up. Try to hold that leg steady. You're all doing great. This is quite difficult. Come all the way up and lift here. You know, this is like an advanced version of the roll-up exercises. We're just doing with one leg in the air. But now here that you're upright, bend the elbow, pull the leg up and in to give yourself a little extra stretch in the back of your leg. Release it forward. That's it. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Perfectly fine. Do it with that knees. You're still going to get the benefit. So pull, lift, and release it down. Now lift and hold. Now you can walk it down, bring your hands down your leg, or if you want a little more challenge, arms are free, and you stretch out, squeeze the arms like you're holding a ball here between your hands. Try not to drop the leg or lift it. Hold it at the same angle, lower that down, and then let's pull that right knee into your chest. Hug it in tight. Do a little stretch out to the right side. Left hip bone is heavy. Then pull the right knee across towards the left armpit. Here you get a good stretch through the outer glute and upper outer thigh. Pull the knee one more time to your chest. And then let's slide the right leg forward. A little shake. Feel the right side is now dropped a little deeper into the mat. And now we're starting to tree on the left leg. So pull the left knee in, embrace it. And then extend the leg forward and out. I would say somewhere between a 45-degree, maybe a 30-degree angle off the floor. Depends on your body, right, and your flexibility. But now coming up with your head, Right hand comes first, the back of the left leg. We alternate the hands that way. That helps us keep our center line. And then walk your head up as high as you can with the leg and lift your chest. Try to sit vertically. Good job. And now walk it down. So you curl the tail forward and up. You roll back over your glutes towards your sacrum. You push both legs out and away. One's on the floor, one's in the air. Walk your hands on your legs and stretch the chest open as you lower the arms down off to the ground. And lift to come up again. Now, when you first learn this, sometimes you have to put ankle weights on your standing leg, or have a friend hold that leg steady, and then work your way down. This is a challenge for our deep hip flexor, our psoas muscle, because you have to support the one leg up on a diagonal in the air, where you're using the psoas to pull your torso towards your leg. We're gonna come all the way up, perch on your sits bones, chest wide, and now inhale, bend the elbow, lift the leg, exhale, push the leg away. 3 of these, give yourself an additional stretch. Nice. And then now as you keep the leg in the air, either walk your hands down or hands free. The psoas still supports the leg on the same diagonal. At the same time, it releases the torso down into the ground. Finding that articulation sequence, and then let's pull that knee on into your chest. Left knee in, hug it tight. And I don't remember, we did some stirs, we could do some here. Apologies, the other side, I forgot on the other side. And then let's just pull that left knee to the left armpit, the right hip, stay steady. And then we'll pull the knee across the body towards the right hip. Maybe take your left hand into the hip crease and push it away, just so you're not collapsing the left side as you pull the leg up and diagonally across the body here. And then pull the knee back into your chest. One more embrace, and then it goes forward. Check out your legs. Feel that ease through the hip. And a release into the back. Excellent. So we're grabbing their bed for the single leg circles. And place the bed on the right foot. Lift the leg up to the ceiling. Again, here, find the leg in the back of the leg. Elbows walk forward so the shoulders are released. Soft line through the foot. And we circle the leg across the body. Keep right hip down. Exhale, go low. Out to the side, the left hip is grounded, pull the leg up, and do it again. It's a short inhale for 1/4 of the distance, then a long exhale for the rest of the circle. Keep the elbows grounded, sort of pivot the forearm from the elbow points. Stretch across, go a little further out into space with every repetition. You'll feel that not only stretches the leg, but it also engages your core more as you work to hold the pelvic roll steady on the ground against the movement and weight of your leg. One more. All the way around. Out, next to rotation, up to the ceiling, neutral, and now reverse. Externally rotate, reach the leg to the right, and then press it forward and around. Draw it across the right hip. Press it to the ground and lift the leg. And reach again. So go around, full deep breath in and out. Short breath in here, long breath out. So you come to the top. You would feel the low abdominal, your transversus knitting together with your corset at the top of the movement at the end of the breath. One last one. So go here. Explore the space around you. Now lift the leg. Give that leg another little stretch. And then the right hand will hold both ends of the band. Left hand to your hip bones and the leg out to the side. Give a little rock here towards the shoulder and away. The elbow is grounded, that's your extend. It gives you the support for the leg. Exhale, pull the leg up to the ceiling, switch hands, the left hand holds the band. You can extend the right arm and cross the leg over, lifting hip waist, some of the ribs, but not the shoulder blade. Stretch the leg long and pull it towards your shoulder. Rotate the leg internally. So as the femur rotates internally, the knee and the toes point to the floor. Then exhale, coming down from your left shoulder to your waist, to your right hip, to lift the leg straight up to the sky. Pull it back again and fold it in and release it off. Embrace the leg in, and then lengthen it forward again. And see it's released even a little bit more than it did after the little stretches we did after the tree. And even after the work we did with the tree. So now let's pull the left leg in, pull it tight, the band around the left foot. We lift the leg up into the band. We do a couple of point flexes here with the foot. So we did that earlier with the footwork series at the beginning of the mat workout. And now point and we circle. Inhale over and exhale down, around, out to the side, all the way to the sky. Breathe in as much air as you can, and then start rationing it out. Lengthen the leg across the outer thigh, and now lengthen the leg across the inner thigh. Go to the top, take the hamstring stretch, and again. Moving through this, explore the air around you. Keep stretching the leg further and further away from the hip, away from the mat. We'll do one last one. Keep breathing through it. Keep the body grounded, torso stable on the floor. And now reverse out to the side. Right side is heavy. Reaching it down. Now make the left side heavy before the left leg moves right. And again, you could actually put extra weight into the opposing arm. Yes, see for sure that you're rotating the leg on the surface of the hip joint. That's circumduction of the femur head on the surface, helping the joint nicely here. So you get a better fit in the joint and also improve the synovial fluid flow. One more. We come to the top here. Enjoy the stretch at the top, and now the left hand holds the ends of the band. The left leg goes to the left, the right hip is grounded. Maybe hand to the hip bone. Just be sure that you're not tilting over to the left with the weight of the leg, and then rock the leg gently, slowly. A little bit of bounce support from the bear band. Exhale, pull the leg up. Use your inner thigh muscle to do that. Switch hands and cross the leg over. The left arm extends. Move elbow and the fingertips. You stretch the leg and pull it back towards your shoulder, and then choose to rotate it internally. It won't go very far, but you just want that little extra rotation to increase a little bit of an extra stretch you feel into the glute and across the area by the sacrum. You can always bend the knee if it feels like it's too much strain there. Exhale, we pull from the right shoulder to the waist to the left glute to lift the leg up, give a little pull back. And then pull the knee in. But then just all hug the knee to your body and then release that leg forward. We're just double checking that both legs down, or even more relaxed, we're open across your hips and released in your spine. And then we can pull the right leg in, now that you felt it, and lift the left leg up and roll forward for rolling the ball. Come on up. If you want to use the ball here between your thighs, that's a good option. Another option as you advance would be to take the ball between your heels and your butt to really hold the legs in position. So we rock back onto the sacrum, tail lifts here, elbows forward, waist sinks back, and you're in your upper curl. Lift the tail, roll just to your shoulder blades. Exhale, come back up to your balance point. So the neck and the head stay off the mat the whole time. Just inhale just to the tip of the blades and start your exhale there. So the exhale will bring you up to your balance point and moving up the ground. Two more. Broken back, massage out your spine. So really round your back. Now, if you are someone who has a lot of arch in your back and have really worked on it, you could always take a towel right into that space on the mat so that when you roll back, you don't feel like you're slamming your back into the mat, but you have a feeling that you can connect into something. And that will eventually help open the space up and make it more relaxed and more flexible in forward way. So now we roll back for the ab series. So we'll pull the right leg in, right hand to the right ankle, left hand below the right knee. Lift that leg, extend the other leg up and out. And then try to go down slowly, or don't just fall. Place your spine down. The leg stretches away as a counterbalance. And here we are, elbows wide. Inhale, switch your legs. Left hand to left ankle. Exhale, switch again, right hand to right ankle. Pull the leg in tight to your body. Come up with the head. Bending through the chest wall. Right, you're bleeding the ribs. So they're closed. We're together in the front. And we're open in the back. Leg shoots right out of the socket and then pull straight in towards your chest. When we're set, we're going to end with the left leg in. Right leg is out, pull it in, one hand to each shin, legs zipper tight. Now inhale, arms and legs lift, a double leg stretch, circle the arms around as you embrace the legs into your body. And you stretch high, reach like the fingers and toes, then brace it in. As the work advances, the legs go lower, the arms go lower, but you don't fall out of your upright curl. Most important thing, you're challenging your ability, your strength, your core to hold that same spinal position as you take the limbs further away from the center and then pull everything back. Scissors, right leg up and left leg forward, down and line. Inhale, switch the legs, and exhale, switch again. It's always been the knee as necessary. We lift the leg up to the ceiling, but eventually straight would be the goal. It depends, hamstrings can take some time to lengthen. Like every other muscle in our body, right? Let's lift the left leg up, leave it there. Lift the legs up, hands behind your head. Pull the head up and the elbows forward and down. Double leg, lower lift. Caution here, you're just taking the legs out a little bit to challenge the little abs. Exhale, pull the belly deep and drag the legs up to the sky. So you're definitely not just throwing the legs to the ground and trunk up in the air. Right? That can be disaster for your vertebra and vertebral discs. We're working to strengthen the psoas, to control this movement, and build strength to support the weight of your legs and also the weight of your body if you're having the legs centered and then moving the torso away from it like we do in a roll-up or a teaser. Now we twist to the right. Come up and around, and then twist to the left. And over here, armpit to inner thigh. Lift to twist. Try to keep the pelvis rounded so the legs are wildly swinging from side to side, but they go straight out of the socket, and then they come straight in towards the chest. One more time to the left. Come back to center. Lay it down. Embrace the legs. And then stretch the arms back and the legs forward. You've earned a little bit of opening here for the front line of your body. Okay, and now we roll up. So you can lift the arms, widen the collarbones, shoulders down, coming up. Inhale, exhale, come up to sitting, and open your legs for spine stretch. So here, if you know you're tight in the back line, elevate your hips on a yoga block, or just bend your knees a lot. People who are super tight, it's like fine to sit on a chair even. That could be a great way to experience more length in the back of your body. So from here, arms extend forward, reach long through the fingertips, but widen the collarbones so the blades are sitting on your back. So we begin looking down and then diving the head, then the neck, then the upper back, the mid back, and the low back as the belly sucks back into the curve, bending over and down. Bring your hands out towards the inside of your feet, the head down between your knees. And then press the legs down and stack the spine bottom to top. Lift to come up. So tall, beautiful leg in the abdominal wall, and then look down and curve forward again. Out, over, down, and an arc. Your head leads you out. It'll curve like a wave, coming out of the ocean down onto the beach. Breathe into the stretch you feel in your back. And then press the heels and the sits bones down. The chest sinks to the center of the earth as you rise. Lifting here, the heart lifts up. Let's go with helium, and then we're going to look down again. Out, over, rounding forward. As you go over, it's okay. Check, bend your knees, and then take yourself further out and over. Stretch that spine, stretch the hamstring, stretch the calf, and then press down to the left. As the chest rises, your both blades fall behind you. The front of the body widens. And one last time to go over. Exhale all the way over here. and onto your feet. Maybe flex the feet here and suck the waist back. And let's stack the spine coming up. So I'm going to skip to the second half of the side kick series. So let's lay it on your side. Pop your head up. And your hand can be in front of your chest, legs forward at about 30 degrees. So here, we're going to do a figure 4 position with the leg. So the top leg comes up, you grab a hold, like your hand goes through the leg and around the outside of it, right? And bring your hand as close down towards your ankle as you can. Now you want to try to push the knee away while the hips are stacked so that you're getting a little stretch to the upper inner thigh. And this is also a bit of a piriformis release. So now from here, we lift the bottom leg up and then exhale and bring it down. Inhale to lift it, exhale to lower it. Lift the leg, exhale, bring it down. Bring it up, exhale, lower. Now we're going to lift and hold the leg in the air and circle around to up 1, around to up 2. Use your inner thigh around to up 3, pause at the top, reverse. Back down and around, come forward and lift. Circling 2. Here's number 3. Lift it, lower the leg, extend the leg out, top leg on the bottom line. Now swing the legs back so that it may be only 10 degrees from the position of your spine. And extend your top arm down to the ground. Now, eventually the series is done with your fingertips together, the arms overhead. You can still do it with your top hand in front of your chest. Spread the palm open, press down for the hand. If that's hard for your wrist, you can make a fist and just push down, but keep the wrist straight there. So here, we're taking the top leg up, hip height, and then pull the bottom leg to it, and then the bottom leg lowers. Top leg stays in the air. Bottom leg lifts, and then lowers. Lifts, and then sinks with control. Bring it up, take it down. Lift here, hold that bottom leg up, and now the top leg lifts and lowers. Goes up and then down. Lifts, lowers here. Really press into your hand to help you find your obliques for assistance. Good, now both legs are suspended. Now the bottom leg pushes the top one up and then brings it to the ground. So it's as if the top leg is a sleeping child and the bottom leg is the parent picking up the child and then bringing them back down. Or you can think elevator and freight, up to the penthouse, down to the loading dock in the basement, lift it again, and bring it down. Just watch you're not pushing your butt back when you lift the leg. We're trying to keep the glutes engaged so that you still are like flat here with the pelvic girdle in line with the rib cage. One more to lift and hold. Little walks. And then big giant gliding strides, swinging the legs back and forth. Pull the legs together, lift them, lower them down. You know, I want to go back and pick up the advanced bicycle here because that stretch should feel really good. So we can come back up to rest your head on your hand, pull the bottom elbow in slightly toward the armpit. And now take the top leg back and the top arm forward to stretch on the diagonal. From here, kick the leg forward to your hand, bring your hand to your leg. Take the stretch in the back of the leg. Exhale, pull the knee into your chest. We bring the hand to the foot, heel to the butt, and swing the knee back. Here's that quad stretch we worked on earlier. And then release arm and leg on the diagonal, stretch it out. And again, kick the leg forward to your hand. Pull the knee into your body, embrace. Heel to the sits bone. The knee stays in the same plane as you rotate it back. It draws a semicircle in the air. Go back and feel the stretch in the quad. And then release arm and leg on the diagonal line. Release your glute. Good job. And one more. Kick the leg forward. Exhale, embrace it in tight. So after a stretch, you want to feel compression. Shoulders are down. Feel the butt, swing the knee back. Release arm and leg on the diagonal. Bottom leg is pressing into the floor. Now we reverse. The arm lifts as you fold the knee, bring your heel back to your sits bone. Grab hold of the foot and then push the knee back. There's that quad stretch again. Exhale, pull the knee into your chest, embrace a tight compression. Extend the leg forward, length, and then swing arm and leg on the diagonal. We'll do 2 more of these. The arm goes up as you're folding the knee. Try to watch that the knee doesn't lift. Push the knee back. Go for the stretch your body wants, that it needs. Pull it in. Nice and tight, into the shin. Extend the leg out. And then swing arm and leg away from each other. Find the diagonal stretch. Once more, arm rises as you pull the leg. Knee back. Pull the knee into your body. Embrace. You want the leg in close to the rib cage. The heel in close to the sits bone. And then extend the leg out here. Hamstring stretch again. And then lengthen arm and leg. Beautiful. And now let's go onto your stomach for grasshopper. Let's just begin by pressing down through the left leg, down through both hip bone press, and pick the right leg up, exhale to lower it down. Now you're going to push down through the left hip bone press as you lift the left leg up, and exhale to lower. To get the focus, it's really using the glute and not overarching the back. In fact, you can think of dropping your tail a little bit to find a little leg here through the back line of your body against the weight and lift of that leg from the glute and the hamstring. 1 more for the left. And then down. Good. Turn out now. Heels together, toes apart. We'll lift the legs and clap. Open and close. Light tapping here. Try to have your thighs off the ground. 1 more breath. The legs lower. Sit back. Push off the floor into your child's pose. The knees can be open for a little more release or closed for a little more stretch in the low back. Whichever you choose, just really try to let the ground support you as you relax into the floor. And then we stack the spine bottom to top, coming up to turn around to the other side. Okay, so always be sure you have enough padding underneath you, that it's comfortable for your hip. You know, the exercise itself is difficult. We want the body to feel at ease on the mat. So here we're starting with the hands pressing into the mat in front of your chest. Legs forward at about 30 degrees from the length of your spine. Pick up your top leg. Oh wait, sorry, I was going back to the beginning. We started with the figure 4. So you bring the foot in, get the foot to press into the mat in front of your upper thigh, and then we lift the bottom leg up and then exhale, lower it down. Inhale to pull it up high, exhale to sink it down low. Control the lift. You can also try to push the knee a little bit more vertical, away from your shoulder, away from your head. Lift it here, exhale, lower. Now lift it, hold it up, and we circle around step 1, and 2, and 3. Pause at the top, reverse your circles around step 1. Now 2, now 3, lift, reach it down, extend the leg out, and we can extend your arm down and leg down. So the legs go back like 10 degrees from your spine. Stretch the legs long. Try to make the top leg as long as the bottom one. You'll feel your waistline lift a little bit off the mat. And then bring the top leg up, hip height or slightly higher. We're going to lift the bottom leg up and then exhale, bring the bottom leg down. Inhale to lift it, exhale to lower. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, lift and hold. Now the top leg lifts away from it. The bottom leg is still suspended in midair. Inhale, top leg rises. Exhale, it sinks. Touches the bottom leg and then lifts again and lowers down. Now bottom leg pushes the top leg up and then exhale brings it all the way down. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. We make a firm connection from your hand into your serratus, your lat, and your external oblique. Both legs up, both legs down, controlled and drop. Now lift the legs, little walks, walking here. And then big giant gliding strides, swinging the legs back and forth. Pull the bottom one off the ground. Now this will become even more challenging once you take both hands off the floor, but not for today, unless you feel like you want to do it. So bring the legs together, lift the legs up, and exhale down. Good. And now we went into our advanced bicycle. So we prop the head up again. You're still on your side seam. And we'll bring legs forward more to a 30-degree angle. So pick your top leg up, push it back, and the top arm reaches forward. You have a long diagonal line here from fingers to toes. Kick the leg forward to your hand. Hold the knee into your chest. Hold on to the foot, swing the knee back. Release arm and leg in the diagonal line again. And here, kick it forward, reach out through the tail and the sits bone. Exhale, embrace the leg in tight. Hand to foot, let the sits bone. Push the knee behind you, get the quad stretch. Don't lean forward with your body, and then release arm and leg on the diagonal. Once more, kick the leg forward. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale to swing it back. Exhale, release, stretch the fingers and toes. Reversing up with the arm as you bend the knee, heel to the butt, hold onto the foot. Push the knee back and then exhale, pull it all the way into your chest. Feel the stretch to the lower back and into the quad. Extend the leg, stretch the leg back, the arm forward here, reach. And we're reversing up with the arm, reach back, pull the knee back, pull the knee into your body, extend the leg forward, sweep the arm and leg in opposite directions, lengthen out. Energy stretches across the room. One more. The arm rises, the shoulder does not. You fold the knee back, you collect the foot. Push the knee back. There's the additional quad and hip release. Pull the knee forward. Stretch the low back, extend the leg out, extend and stretch the hamstring. And then sweep arm and leg on the diagonal. Okay, come back to center. And let's just lay on the back and do a bridge to end today. So we're coming back to a more center position, looking back. Central axis, your midline alignment. So if you know that your hamstrings need a little assistance in order not to cramp, you might want to take the ball between your thighs or your yoga block between your thighs and spread your feet open into the floor. From here, begin with a pelvic tuck. You curve the tail forward enough, your waist pushes down. You pull the mat under you with your heels as you slide the knees forward and up, lifting the spine inch by inch off the ground. At the top of the movement, press the top of the shoulders down, roll to the outer arm, and then feel the blades pull together and lift your sternum, then lift your butt a little higher using your glutes. Push down with your feet and your arms. Now we're going to roll the shoulders up slightly, roll slightly to the inner arm. The blades separate so you can lay the vertebrae down from the top of the spine all the way down to the tailbone. So the sequential movement of your spine. At the end, releasing the tail, the waist rocks up off the mat. And again, begin with the pelvic tuck. You're driving the knees forward, you're pulling the tail forward. You're coming up off the ground a little bit at a time. Narrow the arms in a little bit with that rotation externally through the arms and through the top of the shoulders. Lift the chest, lift the hips higher, push the floor down. You're looking for a hip extension here, as well as thoracic extension. And then roll to the inner arms. The blades broaden on your back, curve the upper back into the back. And then really try to get the waist down. Right, that's hard because that part has an inverse curve normally. Trying to build some flexibility wherever we can. Anchor the tail at the bottom. One last one. So you glide forward with the tail and up with the tail, up and forward with the knees, up over the feet, as if the shins are being pulled by knives to the wall in front of you. Come all the way up again. Try to knit the blades together underneath you to lift the sternum, to lift the heart, look up and slightly back. Don't look towards your chest. Right, want to keep the air passages open for breath. Glutes work, hold yourself there. And then inner arms, blades move apart, curve your back down. Slowly sink into it. Imagine more heat lamp above you, tracking down your body so your spine melts and settles into the mat. When you're all the way down, we are done. Thank you so much. Really good job today, as always. Appreciate you being here. And I'll see you next time. Any questions, let me know.